Alright, this is a pretty cool area. Nothing too crazy here. I'm just trying to get used to more gravel road stuff, because that's what I want to do. Yeah, where's this gonna take us? Area. What does this say? State wildlife area. Yeah, I like these roads. This is exactly the type of riding I want to do with this bike. This is easy, but it's still adventure, you know? We're exploring. It's not super technical. I'm by myself, so I'm not gonna, you know, less likely to get hurt on these kind of roads, but it's still a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun. I want to go back to that little patch and practice my quick turns. Alright, this looks a little sketch up here. All minimal maintenance, but man, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and it's right in my backyard, technically, pretty much. So. Stand up for this, see where we're going. Oh, big rut. Find more roads like this. It's fun. I could spend man, I could just go back and forth on this road a few times. Get used to this kind of terrain, and I'd be occupied. I'd be, you know, this is a good spot for a picture right here. Yeah, take a picture. Alright, iPhone needs to cool off, apparently. Let's just get the hell out of here. We get eaten alive. Alright, cool. Nice little easy stroll. Let's just go left, see where it takes us. Alright, let's talk about, I don't know, top 5 things I love about this bike. Number 1, I'd have to say, is the ergonomics. Just the seating position, it's so comfortable. I could sit here all day. You're sitting like on a chair, handlebars are in a good spot, and it's just a really comfortable, ergonomic position. Same with standing. I got these flatter pegs and that I replaced with these alt riders, and even standing up on this thing is pretty comfortable. And so I could ride this thing all day long, and at the same time it still feels sporty. It has that kind of sport bike vibe to it. It's like, it really is like a sport touring bike to me. Alright, so that was number 5. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, I would have to say the standard features that come with this bike. Now, this is the 2023 800T model. And so what came standard on this bike? Well, you got cruise control, heated grips, heated seats. I use those a lot. I use the heated seats and grips, or seat and grip, way more than I thought it would. I am in Minnesota, but it kind of extends my riding season a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, well, what else? We got the quick shifter. It's not the best quick shifter in the world, but it's there. It works. We have the center stand. I use that all the time. We have this TFT that gives me information like tire pressure monitoring. I love that. I can look down and it shows you exactly where the tire pressure is, and it even gives you a reference on there and where it should be. So, that's awesome. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff, but really, all of that standard on this bike is just an awesome deal. You got bikes like the KTM 890 SMC, is that right? It's the CFMOTO Touring, so SMT maybe? That bike looks so awesome, but it's 15 grand, and then you also have to pay to activate those features that are already on the bike, like this. So anyway, I'm kind of ranting there, but the features on this bike are awesome. Let's go to number, what am I at, 3? I'd have to say the power. The bike, the engine, this power, it's just the perfect amount of power for this bike. I don't know the exact horsepower right off the top of my head. I'll put it on the screen, but this is essentially an 800cc bike, parallel twin engine. It revs to 9,500 RPM, and it's got an awesome amount of power to this thing. I'm not lacking power by any means with this bike. Yeah, so really that's all I have to say about that. Let's go number 2. 2 I'd have to say is the looks. This thing looks good. ADV bikes are kind of that dorky, nerdy dad kind of bike vibe, but compared to other bikes, this thing looks great. Yeah, looks are subjective, but it's great. It's a good looking bike. And final, I say number 1 would have to be the price and the overall value of this package. Now, I will say, when I bought this bike, I feel like the competition wasn't as stacked. I bought this 2023, or like really early spring, and it was $10,500. So $10,500 with all of those features that I mentioned, and I'm probably forgetting a couple. And at the time, that was an outstanding deal. And I'm seeing some people get this package with complimentary panniers from CFMOTO as well. So you get the luggage set as well. That's just awesome. What other bike can you get that has all of these features that you can tour on, go off-roading with, that you have cruise control and the heated seat and the grips and the comfort of it? What other bike in that category, this category, fits in that price range? Now, I will say, and I think it's because of this bike, there are a lot more bikes showing up in that category. You're gonna hear people mention the Transalp. and even some of the newer KTM models. But here's the kicker with that. This bike is made in China, and that's part of the reason why it's affordable. KTM is owned, 51% of KTM I believe is owned by CFMOTO. So you find some of their cheaper models, it's made by this company, it's made by CFMOTO. Same with like the Motorini bikes, I believe they're tied in there with CFMOTO. I can't be 100% sure, but what manufacturers are doing is they're pairing up with these Chinese companies, in particular CFMOTO, and they're bringing these prices down. And so yeah, but I feel like this bike was good for the market to kind of get that competition going. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to talk about the Chinese element in there because everyone has their opinion on that. But I will say that overall this bike has been built really well, and the fit and finish is really awesome. Alright, one thing I forgot is this thing has an app. It's the CFMOTO app, and basically it allows the Chinese to track you and follow you wherever you go and track your movements, all that. Okay, just kidding, but at the same time truthful. But in that app you get over-the-air updates, which is awesome. If they have a remap of the fueling system, or in our case it was overheating when you're sitting in traffic, so they kind of did a software update to, you know, just when that fan came on for the radiator. And so that was just done in my garage over the internet, you know, connection, and it just updated itself, and that's awesome. And then if I'm really ballsy, which I should not be because I'm only at 5 hours of sleep after my graveyard shifts, I really want to learn how to pop the front end on this thing, but I don't feel like looping this thing today. We'll save that for another day. Put on cruise control for a little bit. See, cruise control, man. Gang gets tired, put on the cruise control for a little bit. This is all private property, kind of owned by the state. What they used to have back here, I'm not sure if you can see back in those trees, it's a bunch of concrete structures, and the plan was to make a bunch of ammunition for, and I think it was World War II. Since then, it's all been mostly dismantled, and now the state owns most of this property. I think some of the universities and stuff kind of do some research back here as well. But you can see these roads are definitely not maintained, so I'm going to take it easy on this. I'm not going to go past any no trespassing signs. But yeah, I think we're going to head back home for a little bit to get some lunch,